Remember when everyone was worried about a cost of living adjustment of 0% for Social Security? Now that just kind of came and went, but man, there's tons of ink spilled, not only for the 0% COLA, but also the indexing factors for people who were born in 1960. Whatever happened to that? Lots of videos, lots of propaganda, lots of negativity came down the pike. I was part of it because we did not know. This is the point, though. Until and this, what also people say, well, the legislation, like, what doesn't Rick Edelman say you shouldn't do Roth conversions because they're going to get rid of the Roth at some point? Man, until things actually come out, absolutely. Yes, it's always okay to be recognizing of what could come, but to make plans based on assumption, it just doesn't make sense. Like this, like, oh my goodness, they're going to do Social Security. I can't sleep at night. Stop. What I'm saying is be realistic, but don't be too negative. Like, they're getting rid of Roth IRA. Oh my goodness, they're going to raise their taxes. It's crazy. So let's read this from Elaine Floyd over at Savvy Social Security. It just was in my email, and I guess I came up with some older emails, and I had forgotten about this. But 0% cost of living adjustment. The CPI fell by 0.8% in April. This is in May of 2020. Over the last 12 months, the index has risen just 0.3%. The CPIW, which is a subset of CPIU, is the index used to calculate Social Security, is up just 0.1% over the last 12 months. Does this portend of COLA of 0 or close to it? It's too early to say, but between the CPI numbers revealed so far and signs pointing to a continued economic weakness, including a drop of the PPI and a jump in unemployment and 2-month free fall in consumer confidence, is not looking very good. The Social Security cost of living adjustment for 2021 will be announced on October 13th. In figuring the COLA, Social Security looks at the monthly index itself, or rather the average of the monthly indices from July, August, September, and compares the average to the average for the same period last year. For example, in figuring the 2020 COLA, it took the 2019 average of 250.2, 1982 to 1984 equals 100. Subtract the 2018 average of 246.352, divided by the 2018 average, you get an increase of 1.6, which was a COLA for 2020 announced last October. All PIAs were raised by that amount reflected in the January benefit payment. So again, your primary insurance amount was raised by the COLA. In figuring the 2021 COLA, the base average of 250.2 will be used. That number will be subtracted from the average from July, August, and September of this year, which won't be announced until October 13th. And the percentage of gain or loss will be announced. The index stood at 249.515 in April, so if the numbers were used, we would see a 0% COLA for 2021. You can't have a negative COLA. But there's still time for the economy to get going and prices to pick up. It seems there are always conflicting feelings about this. We want prices to go up in order to boost COLAs, but we don't want to have to spend more at the store. All right, so what happened? You remember? Well, let's take a gander. So let's look at the Social Security here that I got. Hold on just a second. And the COLA for 2021 was, hold on. Received a 1.3% COLA for 2021. All right, 1.3. Is that great? No, but certainly not 0, certainly not negative. All right, so there you go. So we had a 1.3. So remember also, too, hold on just a second. And this from AARP, fear porn, from November of 2020. This is November 18th. Born in 1960, your Social Security retirement could take a hit. And they actually said it could be down by, hold on just a second, roughly 4 million people born in 1960 could see a big drop in their Social Security retirement disability statement if Congress doesn't act to fight a glitch in how this year's benefits are calculated, all right? The problem lies in how Social Security benefits are taxed. So let's see right here, all right? Hold on just a second. Thanks to the economic slowdown caused by the coronavirus, the AWI could be down by 9% in 2020 from what the Social Security projected in 2019. All right, so where are they getting that from? The problem, thanks to the economic slowdown caused by the coronavirus, the shutdowns by Fauci, the AWI could be down by 9% in 2020 from what the Social Security projected in 2019. So where did we get that? You want to take a guess? Right here. This is November 2020. Freaking AARP, your fear porn. Stephen Goss, chief actuary of Social Security, testified in Congress in July that the AWI could be about 5.9% lower in 2020 than in 2019. Earlier estimates had predicted a 3.5% increase in AWI. The upshot for retirees born in 1960, Social Security benefits would be 9.1% lower than expected for life. All right, so this was in July. I've said this a million times this Sunday. It friggin' ticks me off. We were already coming out of the slump then when that guy made that announcement. It was like July 7th or something like that in front of Congress. He was saying, based on what happened in the second quarter, Q2, up until June, he was only looking up until June numbers. So basically he's looking at from March, April, and May. And that was it. I think he might have had the first 2 weeks of June or something like that. But he only had these 3 years and 3 months. He's like, based on what could happen, the AWI could be 5.9% lower, thus a 9% drop in Social Security payments if you were born in 1960. AARP still was reporting that in November as if that was freaking sacrosanct, and it wasn't, because we saw what happened in Q2, and then we saw what happened in Q3, a huge rebound in Q3, which dwarfed anyone's expectations. Q3, and remember what they said, what Elaine said about Social Security. Do you not remember that? So what did she say about Social Security? All right, let's see here. The AWI is used July, August, and September. The average of the monthly indexes for July, August, and September. So they were using May, I guess March, April, and May to freaking scare you to death. When in fact the AWI was used July, August, September when the freaking economy was booming. It was a 35% growth in that quarter, Q3. Just all fake. It drives me up the wall. So I'm telling you, my man Andrew Biggs wrote about this in freaking April. He said and the whole point was we better get this economy back on, or else we're going to have some hell to pay. And I don't have any problem people reporting that then. I have a problem people reporting in freaking November what Stephen Goss said in July, knowing full well that everything had changed by then. It's fear porn. Now check this out. Why is ARP giving you fear porn? Because what do they say right here? Take action. Do your part to tell Congress to fix this. Go to right there. They're right there. They're trying to get your name so they can be part of your freaking mailness. It's all fake, dude. It's all fear porn. These guys, clowns. So let's bear with just a second. Here we are in January. Finney. January 27th, the National Average Wage Index. This is the CBO before the actual numbers came out, but CBO response, and the CBO is clown economists. Their projections are so horrible. But anyway, even here, they say the calculation for Social Security benefits, according to CBO, the actual numbers will not be known until later this year. On the basis of employment data from BLS, CBO predicts the AWI declined by 0.5%. So let me get that done. CBO predicted the AWI declined by 0.5. This decrease is smaller than the decline of 3.8% they projected in September. You think they're CBO? All right, so hold on. So here's a COLA for 1.3. We don't have the actual AWI yet, but back last year, the SSA trustees were thinking of 3.5% AWI. It's not going to be 3.5. But if you have a COLA of 1.3, what do you think it's going to be? So we go to AW. I don't think they have the number out yet. Let's see. Hold on a second. We're going to click on the latest index. Yeah, they don't have the number. Yeah, the latest is 3.75, higher than it was for 2018. So we don't have those numbers out yet. But do you remember when they said a 0% cost of living and you're going to lose 9% of your Social Security benefits if you're born in 1960? As far as I can tell, we still don't know what the average wage index for 2020 is going to be yet. But still, check this out. This is from Fed Smith. Believe it or not, part of the pool is that the CEO making millions of dollars who has reduced his base salary to zero is a sign of solidarity with rank file workers. But as a group, people earning wages above the cap are slightly more than 5% of the earners in the index, but make up nearly 30% of the weight in the final AWI. So believe it or not, these top wage earners are a driver of the AWI. So we know we have a K-shaped economy recovery. The people at the top made bank. The people at the bottom did not. The people at the top, even though they're only 5% of the earners, account for 30% of the average wage index. That's going to drive a lot to the upside for AWI because those guys made bank, man. My money was I made more in 2020 than I made in 2019. And for me, the K thing was absolutely spot on. You might not have, but apparently people like me who made good money, more than the maximum Social Security earnings taxation, account for a hell of a lot more in terms of the percentage. So we're only 5% of the population, but we're 30% of the AWI. So if that is true, and I think it is, we're probably looking pretty good. Anyway, the whole point was all the negativity, all the ink that was spilled on negative, scare you, just like a thud. And yet, where are these people going to say, yeah, we're wrong? Nowhere. It's just nuts. Don't fall for the negativity. Just come on, man. Until it's legislation in committee. What do you think about Biden's tax thing? He's going to get right. Man, let me see it in committee. Until we see it in committee, I'll talk about it for sure because people are interested, but it's just, you don't make a plan based on something that comes out of Biden or Trump's or anything. You got to wait through it gets House Ways and Means, it gets approved in the Senate. Hell, it got to get approved in the full House. Has to go through the Senate with all the filibusters until it gets all that, and now it's in committee. Just don't sweat it. All right, we'll see you.